Hey, it's me, your favorite widow. I just wanted to drop in and just say a few words of encouragement. The holidays are not even approaching, they're here. And just to remind you that holidays by itself, whether you're grieving or not, are very emotional, different layers to it. And when you're grieving, it can be a whole lot heavier. And I just wanted you to know, like any other day, this day, during this time, these holidays will become yesterday. In other words, you'll get through it. Okay? That's first. Okay? You will get through it. Um, it's knowing that you can get through it is that beacon of hope. All right? That extra layer of energy, that chiseling off of some of that heaviness, knowing that you will get through it. Okay? Now, the emotions and um, and all this different levels to it. We can go through the different levels of emotion, from heartache, anger, pain, confusion, just to name a few. Grant you, all of those are real. And I always say and promote healthy self-expression of your emotions. That is key. And it's definitely key in getting through this grief journey. And the closer and the better you're able to balance these emotions in the most safe and healthiest and holistic way. And that's religion, however you see it. Um, the better you are. Okay. So, one, you will get through this. Two, you know, the feelings that you're feeling, they are real. So let's recognize them. And in a very loving, safe, positive way of self-expression, express those. Three, don't feel bad if you have to kind of, you know, change up the holidays. I know for me, my first year, I wanted everything to be exactly the way we always did it. And that was my goal. And I set out to do it, and nobody was going to stop me. All right? It was going to be exactly the way it was had always done. So, what I would suggest, and this is just from, me going through what I went through my first year as a widow with small children, is I stressed myself out, literally. I can, as I even think about it, I can still feel the emotion because I wanted some sense of familiarity, and I needed that. So this is what happened. So I was strictly all about everything is going to stay the same, right? And I did. And when all of us were together, family supported us, all of those that always came to our home or what have you. And that's typically how I went because I had the only grandchildren on both my husband's side and mine. So everybody typically came to us. And there was so much emotion in the room, right? Good and healthy emotion, but it was a lot of heartache. Nobody, you know, I feel like people were walking around on eggshells because they didn't want to say the wrong thing. They didn't want to address the elephant in the room. I hate to call my husband elephant, but and that is, he wasn't there. And when it hit me, um, I was helping serving some family members, and have you ever had that moment when you just cry and the tears just keep coming, and you're not boo-hooing or anything like that. It just keeps coming, coming, coming. I couldn't wipe them away fast enough. I literally just shut down. Okay, and I was in my room the rest of the night. I felt so bad about how I acted. Right. Nobody said anything to me when they saw the tears. Um, for the most part, everybody just, they asked, were I okay? I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And I went to my room, and I was literally there to the next day. And I had a level of guilt because of the way I reacted. Now all of this is pre me talking to a therapist, trying to do this on my own. I'm gonna forge through this, and I'm gonna, do this grief, and I'm gonna get through it. And that layer of guilt lasted for days. Okay. And when the primary guardian or in your household is not healthy, whether physically, mentally, emotionally, or psychologically, it affects everybody in the house. So I was very aware of that based on how my children were behaving after Thanksgiving. So there was some more added. I felt like I let them down, by my behavior, by not putting on my big girl pants. I should have just wiped those tears away, and just kept smiling and forced through it. Right? So nobody's adding this guilt upon me. I'm doing it to myself. Because I wanted to commemorate to some extent in my mind. That's how I thought of it. My husband, and to have some layer of comfort, But let me tell you, I look back on that, and after, going through therapy and this grief journey all together, it was okay for me to change things up, And there was no one there to say, hey, if you want to do this Thanksgiving dinner, then let's do it. We'll support you. But if you choose not to, that's fine too. And, it was, no one within my immediate circle were aware of or wanted to take the emotional responsibility of saying, hey, if you don't want to do this, then it's so fine. I'm here to step in, because that's a lot, and I get it. But I want you to know that if you make any changes, if you get all the way up till you just gonna do it, you want everything to be the way that it normally is, prior to your grief journey. And then you have the entire table laid out. You got the house smelling beautifully, nice background music. Everybody's dressed. Or if you leave out and you go visit someone, and everybody's dressed and everybody's in the car, ready to go eat and meet with family. Even when you get to your destination, and you just say, I can't. In that moment, I want you to know that that's okay. All right? But what I will say, recognize the emotion. And if you have to cry, then cry. And you decide the healthiest route for you to express yourself. And if that means from going through with the nice dinner you set up in your home, then do that. Right? And understand, I say this all the time, your tears does not define who you are. And those that are there, they love you. Because if they're there, they do. So if you gotta, cry through it and dance and talk and smile, then do that. But if you choose to say, you guys, I try, I just can't do this. And those that love you was like, you know what, we understand. But we'll sit here with you and bring you comfort through this. So I'm really praying that, someone will step up and do that for you. So those of you who are close to anyone who's a widow or widower, just say it's okay. But I would like to be here with you to help you through this day, through this time. All right? So don't deny yourself. Don't deny what you're feeling. But just know that it's okay. There's no need for you to feel guilty if you can't go through with it, or you feel like you can't, it's not adding up to what you want it to be. All right? It's okay. And if you're able to force through it and you get it done, that's okay too. That's great. And when dinner is over with and you sit back, and that feeling of, I made it through it, but there's still that feeling of loss, because going forward it's not going to be the same, because your loved one is no longer there. And that's the journey. Rediscovering and reestablishing who you are. This person, because for me, I'm not the same person I was prior to meeting my husband. He has added so much value to my life, my personality, my character. And I celebrate that. Yeah. And I want you to do the same thing. And continue to talk to yourself. I always say, remember now, talk it out. Get it out. Self-expression in an artistic way, safe. And art, it could be artistic, or, there are a lot of other ways of self-expression, beyond the arts. I say arts because I'm a very artsy person. I know you guys see my house. I have a lot of paintings, and I have 3 budding artists. Actually 4. My oldest daughter actually is a phenomenal writer, and so everything from instruments and everything, drawings and paintings. So if you hear me say art a lot, that's because, we're an art music family. But I want to keep you encouraged. Own your feelings, the healthy ones now. Because anger has its way of not bringing healing, and it can drain your energy and minimize your value. Take my word on it, because I felt anger, and I always remember there is someone for you to talk to, because sometimes family just a little too close sometimes to be raw and vulnerable with. And I understand the realities of actually having the access to resources, professionals to talk to. Well, let me tell you something. I don't know what city or state or country you're in, but I know that there is a outlet. Where I live, there are things like 211 where you can call and say, I need to talk to someone about grief. I just need to talk this through. Um, and depending on how your spouse transitioned, there are certain support groups that specifically deal with that area. It's a lot of times, especially during the holidays, volunteers make themselves available. And as for me, my husband passed away due to SUDEP, which is SUDEP, sudden unexpected death due to epilepsy. And there, through the Epilepsy Foundation, there's a SUDEP, kind of like a committee group, and volunteers make themselves available during the holidays. And there are widow and widower groups online that make themselves available during the holidays for you to talk to. All right? So don't hold that stuff in, okay? I'm going to leave you with this. Get it out, because like I always say in all my videos, and someone shared this with me and I have just been using it, and he didn't even know he dropped a dime. But, you know, pressure will bust a galvanized pipe, okay? So if it can do that, imagine what pressure would do to your human body. Exactly. It'll wreak havoc. So get it out. Release the pressure in a healthy way. Just the way a plumber will release pressure in a pipe. They don't just go and just unleash it. They do it slowly to preserve the pipes. So you do the same thing. Expect the same thing for you. All right. So don't accept any guilt. Okay. All right. Nobody's judging you. And if they are, then guess what? They don't need to be in your energy, in your environment. All right? Happy holidays. Love on each other. Love on yourself. Okay? And be good to yourself. And always talk to the most amazing being there could be. And that is the God within you. I'm not, if that's not your religious preference, speak to the one that loves you the most. All right? And that's the one that created you. All right? And I'm at 18 minutes. But anyway, on a lighter note, guess what? My hair grew back. So, to add a little bit of comedy to it, for us widows and widowers that are, single parents by way of the widowship. I know sometimes we go to work and we get really, really tired, and we try to do so much because we got work, you got children, and you got everything in between, right? Just don't try to dye your hair and then fall asleep with your hair. Because that's exactly what I did. And it was not a good look once I rinsed my hair out. Oh well. No more weave. And the next time I color my hair, it'll be like on a Sunday morning when I don't got enough rest. But anyway, love you guys, loving yourself, loving your loved ones, and enjoy this holiday. All right, get it out. If you gotta go outside and scream, do it. All right, don't yell at anybody. Give that energy to the world so that she can give you even more beautiful energy. All right, no guilt. We're not doing that. All right. All right. Bye.